to the Nerdiverse. Go ahead, sit and listen to the masters, the old heads, talk about what you love the most. Video games, comics, movies, and everything you need to maintain your week. Got the knowledge that's straight out the ether. Gonna need a drink and have to take a seat to expand your mind and listen to the speaker. Mike and the squad's gonna give you what you need. Please send in the question, come and get some answers, learn a couple lessons from the masters with the special guests. We got the Green Lanterns glowing on their chest. Yes, please sit back and relax, cause we're gonna hit you with them stone cold facts. And allow me to be the very first to welcome you to the masters of the Nerdiverse. Welcome to the Masters of the Nerdiverse podcast, where we always have such sights to show you. This sumo champion of a podcast can be found on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and Google Play. I'm, of course, your host, Mike G. And with me, as always, is my spectral anomaly of a co-host, the Lord of the Neutral Zone itself, Winter Trash Monk the Thizzer.
I'm a ghost. Ghost.
Ghost.
Yeah, and now I'm a snake. I'm a snake.
Ghost. He's a snake. He's a snake.
Don't step on snake. Okay.
Don't step on snake, though.
Hey, everybody, it's Trash Monk the Third. That's Trash Monk I. That's Trash Monk I.
Yep.
And I'm coming at you from the trash bunker that was without power last night.
We need more power.
In the middle of winter, making some homeless food, which is ground beef and a can of beans.
Hey, man.
And then the power was out, so I just went to Burger King instead.
Did that Burger King person cuss you out and give you a good meal?
No, it was a different lady. She was complaining that I wasn't close enough to the window, so she had to reach out.
You should have just karate chopped her arm while she was reaching out, dude.
That's why you don't reach out the window.
Yep. You should have disciplined her for her insolence, bro.
Yes.
Just throwing out the chop.
Yeah.
It's not like you'll never see her again.
Yeah, I've only seen her twice, and it's only been at Burger King.
Yeah, you're going to see her at the grocery store. She was like, that's that one guy who chopped my arm.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. You're going to be wearing a big mustache and
you're an
giant
idiot.
Don't be stupid. That's not me. Why are you being stupid?
So, we're going right. So, how was your week?
I'll do it. I would do it. Before my week, I just want to bring up that stupid gif of the I think it's a Ninja Turtles episode where the evil queen makes this pterodactyl noise. I just want to do it because she goes, oh no, my precious power ring, gone forever. And then she goes it's this crazy noise. Somebody out there's laughing at it. Look it up on YouTube. It's 13 seconds long, but I've listened to it on complete loop. Anywho, what I did with my week, and I actually made it a news segment, but I'll just talk about it now. I watched some movies. I got some great news about the channel. That's hopefully going to be a next strata, a new opportunity for the channel. But we'll talk about that when the time is right for that. But what I do want to talk about is I've been reading comics lately. I've been diving back into comics for the MOTN Reads, which is kind of our YouTube initiative right now, doing 5 to 10 minute quick takes on books that are coming out, books I'm following. And I need to talk about this book just to you, Winter, as a writer and as someone who is working on comic book writing. I think you would appreciate this book. It's written by Jonathan Hickman. It's called House of X, #2. And I'm gonna spoil the mess out of it. So if you don't want spoilers, spoiler alert,
tactical spoilers incoming.
CQC, close quarters combat spoilers are happening right now. So
Okay.
I'll put a timestamp in the notes. So if you don't want to get spoiled on House of X. Oh my goodness, this is such a good book, dude. It's the best comic book I've read since I was a kid. And it's so subtle. So, okay. It's an X-Men book, right? And everybody knows the X-Men. Whatever. Mm-hmm. And the thing with comic writers, what they get to do is that every once in a while, a big comic book company like Marvel or DC, I'll say, okay, writer, okay, artist, you can write your arc of this character. We can pretty much carte blanche. You sell us your story. If we buy it, this will be comic book continuity, right? Spider-Man dies and Doc Ock takes over his body, Superior Spider-Man. Or Days of Future Past happens where mutants are enslaved and super sentinels are flying around. You know, that's an arc of a comic. And what they've initially done is orchestrated and irreparably changed the course of X-Men lore forever in one book. This writer's managed to just totally upend how you think about the X-Men in one book. And pretty much what it is, it's one character named Myra McTaggart. Is that a name you're familiar with at all, Winter? As just like an ancillary.
It sounds like a Wild West outlaw.
It sounds like something you would eat at Outback Steakhouse. I want to Myra McTaggart is the person that has been in X-Men a little bit. She's kind of like a D tier character, where Professor X didn't know what powers a mutant had. He would go to her to figure it out, right? Like, hey, there's this kid, he keeps burping fire. Is that all he can do? Is this the worst? She'll eyeball him and say, okay, nah, he's also a reality warper. I'll keep an eye on him. And Professor X is like, okay, bet. I know how to use this information to further teach this child how to control their powers, right? What this book is saying, and in the comics, Myra's just a normal human who was just like a geneticist, right? She's just a normal human who had a love affair with Charles Xavier during his youth or whatever, right? But what this book is saying is that Myra has been a mutant this whole time. And she has a very unique mutant power of reincarnation. Not immortality or not rebirth, but reincarnation. So she was born like in 1949, right? She lives her whole life. She dies, and then she's reborn again. Same mom, same date, same time. Every single time. She keeps replaying her life over and over. But with her, is that she eventually figured out she's a mutant. Why? When she died the first time and recollected her own birth, and was like, wait, I just died. Why am I in utero again? You know what I mean?
Where is this going?
It's crazy, right? Right? It's kind of nutty. So, and to make a long story short, Myra McTaggart got fascinated with Charles Xavier. She was just like a big Charles Xavier fangirl. She followed him, she studied him, and she's approached him on many occasions, just trying to be part of the scene. I want to be an X-Men. I want to be part of the X-Men, right? Mm-hmm. But every time she's lived and died, she's done something differently. She's affected that reality differently. And she's lived and died like 10 times. So every time she's lived, she's remembered every death. So on death 2, she was like, okay, I remember my whole life from death 1. Death 3, she remembers death 2 and 1. And it just keeps going like that. And she keeps learning more and retaining all this knowledge. So every time she's been reborn, or kind of reborn, rather, in a weird way, she's affected the X-Men universe in a different effect. So in one lifetime, she caused Days of Future Past. But in another lifetime, she joined Magneto. But in another lifetime, she caused this effect. And she just keeps going back and forth. So every side project that's ever been written by any writer that's ever written X-Men is a product of Myra McTaggart going back to the past to change things up for that writer.
I gotta be honest with you.
This is nutty, dude.
That was tough to listen.
It's rough, dude. It's the biggest mind blow ever. And the worst part is that on her most recent kind of rewind, she goes to Charles Xavier and lets her read her mind. From the very beginning, before the X-Men were a thing, he's like sitting on a park bench, like thinking about changing the world. Okay. So he reads her mind. He reads all these different realities, and he still decides to create the X-Men. Still decides to put these children in danger. It just makes you think about Xavier completely differently knowing that he had this insane knowledge. Wait, but he saw everything coming before it happened.
Oh dear.
It's the most craziest thing ever. And it just totally upends how you look at who's really the villain. Because Magneto didn't know this shit. Like, Magneto was just trying to live his best life. But Xavier knew, all right, this is the year that Magneto shows up and we got to fight him. And I know these children. I know Jean Grey's going to die, but I'm still going to recruit her as an X-Man because that's the way it has to be. Like, it's crazy, dude. In this book, and the new one comes out tomorrow, and I'm just edge of my seat. I need to know what happens, man. That's all I did this week was reread this book over and over and just think about it to myself and have no one to talk to about it. I needed to get it off my chest. I'm sorry. That's all I did this week. I also read Absolute Carnage 2, which was pretty good, but not as good as this book. Oh, I'm sorry. I just needed to vent that. X-Men, guys. X-Men.
You totally made me forget what I was going to say about my week.
I'm sorry. You have to go back to you have to reincarnate yourself back to.
Okay, you can stop.
That's it. I'm done. I'm sorry. I need to get Myra X off my chest. That's end of spoilers. End of spoilers. End of spoilers. Okay. So, wow.
Yeah. So my week has been pretty fun. You know, like I said, I'm trying to figure out a system of saving up for a new graphics card. So my brain is going. I typed in upgrade for an RX 560, which is an AMD, and then someone goes upgrade to a 580, and then someone else went, well, if you save up just a little bit more, you can get the Vega 56, and there is a big difference between the 580 and the Vega 56. But then you have to ask yourself, do I want to, like, there's so much going into buying a GPU. Like, do I buy the 580 knowing that I'm going to have to change it out sooner? Or or do I go for the Vega 56, which is going to be, like, instead of $150, it's $200.
Okay.
Yeah.
How often do you plan to totally upend your PC? How often, like in thinking macro in years, how many years do you want to pass before you actually think these thoughts again?
I always think these thoughts. Well, the plan is to never think about them until I think about them. Like, I want to have a system that can run Halo.
You mean like this, like Xbox Halo or Xbox Scarlet Halo?
Like Xbox Halo.
What?
What?
So the system you have now can't run Xbox or Xbox Halo?
Well, it will, but it's all on like low quality settings, sort of thing.
Oh man, then you just gotta. Okay. So where I was gonna go was you got to future proof your hardware so that we're right down the street from PS5s and Xbox Scarlets.
I'll never have the money or the commitment to future proof a system because that's a lot of money to put. I much prefer being the person that like picks up the scraps of like, this is a couple generations old, but it will get the job done.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. My question is, what do you want to use your system for?
So that's the thing. It's not all going to be gaming. So I'm pretty much answering my own question. So it's going to probably be the RX 580 that I get in the run. Just because it's easier to find one of those for like 110, 100 something.
Right.
Just buy it now. And then that leaves open, like, there's also the need to upgrade my monitor, all this other stuff. But it's fun to dream in the future.
Right.
by the time I need to upgrade my monitor, or like I'll be able to, it will probably be tax season, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, then why not just buy a console
Because I'm a PC man now.
But, you know, you want your PC to run something more than Grim Fandango.
It's not running Grim Fandango. Mike! We're not talking about this.
Yeah, I'm just trying to help you rationalize your investment.
Yeah, I got something to rationalize for you.
Damn. All right, I'll leave it alone, man.
It's investment.
Damn. Hello. You got me there.
Yeah.
I recant.
Oh, now I remember. I'm rereading The Watchmen.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah, I read it like every year. And I always pick up new stuff. Particularly, I was watching a YouTube video that talked about the Watchmen is trying to be like the Watchmen, and it's like comparing the graphic novel to the movie.
Yeah,
and like I thought it was interesting how in one of the chapters of the novel now, there's what is like the panels. There's something about the panels that in the middle of the chapter, it has this like middle splash type image.
Yeah.
And it's like all the panels are heading towards it, and then once that image is there, all the panels are heading behind, are like going past it. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Okay. And I was like, I've never caught that before. And then there's other things I'm catching on about how, because I always thought it was weird that they were throwing out like the people who were angry at superheroes were throwing out certain like slurs at them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's because of the clothing that they would wear. That would be like you. Someone literally just said that the comedian is wearing a GIMP mask.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is all making sense now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, and just stuff like that. Like so I showed someone some of the panels of it, and they like were asking like, how come the Dr. Manhattan's face doesn't change, like it doesn't show any emotion. I was like, wait a minute, and I look at like almost all the panels. His face is the same, except for I think later on in the end, he showed like anger or something.
Yeah, he gets mad. Towards the end.
Yeah,
when Manhattan. Well, I don't want to spoil Watchmen, anywho, but yeah, that book is if anything amazingly detailed.
Yeah.
Have you gotten to what is it called? The Voyage of the Black Freighter yet?
Yeah, it just started.
Ooh, that's my favorite part of Watchmen, just rereading that.
Yeah.
That's so good. I love it. I super love it. That's my favorite part. Man, you make me want to reread Watchmen. I have a copy of it. I'm just staring at that I've had for years that I have right here.
Yeah, and seeing how much I love of it, I should be getting all the other stuff, which isn't going to be as good, but it's still Watchmen related. Therefore, I must partake.
The most self-contained thing on earth is just the graphic novel of Watchmen. You need nothing else when it comes to that content. Everything else is like subpar.
People love to try to get into it. Like they did. Then they do like a prequel series.
Yeah, there was before Watchmen.
Like Watchmen Doomsday.
They're doing an event now in DC Comics called Doomsday Clock, which is pretty much saying that, you know, at the end of Watchmen where Dr. Manhattan just goes off into the cosmos.
Uh-huh.
They're saying that after he did that, he created the DC universe. That's what he went to go do.
All right.
Which is a nutty idea.
Yeah.
But that's all Doomsday Clock is the DC heroes coming to grips with who is that? Like, it's starting to fall apart. Like, Dr. Manhattan's plan. The seams are starting to show, you know.
But so, I find it even like I never figured out why the like people like in the second chapter or the second the novel that I have, it has it in chapters.
Yeah.
In the second chapter when they're doing the scene in the funeral or like the funeral of the comedian, I never understood why in like the scene the people are rioting. Like I thought it never explained to me why they were rioting. But then if you read the newspaper headline, it's pretty much the police have like thrown up their hands going, if the superheroes want to take care of it, they can have it. And then,
and plus the comedian was a well-known like Vietnam murderer. You know what I mean?
Well, not at that Yeah, well, that's another thing.
Yeah.
Like, I had no clue. Like, somehow I missed the whole how much of the Hollis Mason's book is involved in the world. So there's like
Yeah.
the woman yelling like stuff that she read the book about the comedian and exposes that he was a rapist.
Yeah. He was a rapist, violent, disturbing creature of a human who happened to wear a mask. You know, it's fascinating. A beautiful, like the whole story is just flawless. It's, in my opinion, it's Alan Moore's best work, hands down.
And I used to not understand the ending of like why they would go that campy of a route. But it's one of the YouTube videos I watched in it. It's like it's intentional to be like old school that way, to make it like it's like it's like trying to make the reader go. It's an actual. This is an old school like sci-fi
ending,
and it actually worked.
Yeah,
compared to this world where people are super campy superheroes sometimes, but enmeshed with a reality of the world. And they didn't work. So it's kind of like a flip on its like it's like the reversal of what this whole story has been telling you.
It's the most fascinating thing because what it is in essence is a dramatic event, a dramatic distraction to hide the truth of the matter, to distract from the real truth of the matter, that Ozymandias is looking for a reason to unite the nation so they don't enter nuclear war, and to change pretty much the zeitgeist of the culture. Which sounds vaguely familiar, something else that's happened in U.S. history. A dramatic...
it sounds
right?
Like Thanos.
I was going to say something more controversial, but I'll bite my tongue.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for you. That's a good read. You should read V for Vendetta next. That's a good read.
I have that too.
I
didn't like it as much the first time I read it. I think I'm going to be, depending on what my budget's going to look like, I might have my comic book store buy me the first volume of Shocking Suspenseful Stories.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff.
I'm a lover of EC comics.
Oh, that stuff is good too.
Yeah. Particularly I remember being handed the book by my English teacher, and it had like a Klansman on the front.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And I can't remember or my favorite like suspenseful story is the one where there's like a political parade going down, and the guy's like not saluting or hurrahing.
Mm-hmm.
He must be a communist. Beat him up. And then they kill him, and they go, "What are you doing? He's blind, deaf, and dumb."
It's like that one kid who got killed in Los Angeles because he was deaf. He was signing to his mother, but gangbangers thought he was throwing up gang signs and shot him on the spot.
Yeah.
You know?
So that brings up another part of our show, by the way.
What, the polls?
No, it's the lifestyles of the rich and the famous. Mike G on the scene. So, Mike G, have you seen any famous people?
I wish you could see my face. I hate this segment.
Yeah, well, I listened to your whole mutant.
Don't hate on Myra X, Doug. Ugh, let's see. I hate this segment so much. I was at the Coffee Bean downstairs from my job, and I did see Phil Jackson.
Thank you.
He was getting a cup of coffee. He looked really tired.
See, you always go, "Oh, I hate this. But then you always come up with the goods at the end. Mike G.
Hey, man, I complain, but I always deliver.
Did you slip him a Master of the Dirt for a sticker?
All day, dude. I keep them like ninja stars.
Yeah.
I gave a stack of them to the barista and told her anytime she sees a star, is just to slip it in her coffee sleeve.
I have to look up Phil Jackson real quick. I don't think I know what he looks like.
He's a real tall, Zen-like looking
basketball
dude.
Player.
Yeah, he's the best. He's arguably the best coach of all time.
There you go. Yeah, don't know him. But
yeah, he has 11 rings. He coached Jordan and Kobe.
Yeah.
As in, for us, for those non-sports nerds out there, that's Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant.
Oh.
Rather than Michael Jackson and Kobe beef, Kobe as in beef.
Is this before or after for Kobe?
There's a lot that can go into that. Before, after he cheated on his wife, before, after he won an Oscar. You got to work with me.
Kobe won an Oscar?
Yeah, this idiot won an Oscar for a short story he directed and like produced or something like that.
I thought he also beat up his wife.
Well, I don't know if he beat her up, but he super cheated on her and it was almost like a rape charge. But I don't know enough about the case to go into.
And that's been Mike G's segment of Hollywood Squares.
I just imagine you just sticking a camera in my face and my eyes are just darting around.
Tune in next week where he sees
Joey Buttafuoco.
He talks about his hot jacuzzi time with
Kathy Bates.
Over at the Four Seasons.
Is it weird that I would rather share a jacuzzi with Kathy Bates than Nicki Minaj? Because at least I'll have a good conversation with Kathy.
That's a false dichotomy. They're both getting into the hot tub.
Dang. Gun to your head. Who would you rather sit in the hot jacuzzi with? Nicki Minaj or Kathy Bates? It's like, what would you rather want? Kokodesh or crab juice or Mountain Dew? You go, yeah, I'll take the crab juice.
Okay.
Let's get to the poll.
Oh, wait, that's a Simpsons reference.
Got him. That's one of my favorite episodes ever. They never show because it's the two towers are in it. That's the
rewriting history. Okay,
that's the New York episode, man. They never air it. Ew. I'll take the crab juice, Doug. Right. So poll of the week. One day we'll get a soundboard. You're a superstar. That is what you are. Shining from afar.
What you think? You're a shining star. Baby, who you are.
Anywho, so.
And let's forget about it.
You should just throw a little bit of like, what's that guy's name?
Santana. Rob Cordry. Rob Thomas.
Rob Thomas, thank you. And just forget about her.
Yeah.
Then you have that Santana rip. Then you got to go into Maria.
Shakira.
This joke is dying slowly. So, poll of the week. We're MOTN, a subsidiary of Masters of the Nerdiverse podcast, is not above cat memes. It's not above the cat love. We love cats over here, kind of. Even though cats are kind of the most self-absorbed creatures on Earth. But they do love sometimes. Cats know how to love. They purr.
I want to know what love is. With a feline cat.
With a feline kitten. So, in what just recently passed was National Cat Day. Hug your cat. Give it a big hug. Tell it I love you. Do little Eskimo kisses with your cat. Get cat scratch fever and have to get antibiotics. But so I gave the question: who is your most favorite fictional cat? Tons of fictional cats throughout the years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my options were Garfield, next level cat, Tom from Tom and Jerry, who some of you youngins may not even know exists, but that's okay. I added Meowth from Pokemon, prepare for trouble, make it double, and Goose from Captain Marvel, the Flurkin. This is Flurkin crazy. Who's your favorite fictional cat winner?
Where's Snowball?
Snowball died, bro.
Where's the cat in James Bond?
What's the name of that damn cat? Blofeld's cat?
Yeah.
He got frozen.
Where's the cat from Pet Cemetery?
So not here. That cat. What was the name of that cat? Dang, all my horror film nerds are gonna pull my street cred for not knowing the name of the cat.
Where's Sylvester?
Ooh, I was so close to put Sylvester on there, but I wanted some diversity. It was either Sylvester or Tom, and I like Tom better because Tom will fight you on sight.
What about Sylvester?
You know who my favorite fictional cat is? Like personally,
what?
It's General from Cat's Eye. General rules. He fought like a little troll to save his human protector. Shout outs to Cat's Eye. Watch that old horror movie. The last scene of the movie is a real life cat, no CG, no animatronics, fighting a little gnome with a little serrated blade in his boy's room at like 3:00 in the morning. It's the best. The absolute best. But anywho.
I like the cat from Stuart Little just because I saw that recently.
Also, shout outs to Azrael, Gargamel's cat from Smurfs. That's a godlike cat right there.
Nathan Lane played the cat off of Stuart Little, and I have a thing for Nathan Lane in movies like A Mouse Hunt.
What about Birdcage?
Yeah, I like a lot of Nathan Lane.
That's all right. That's okay.
His voice, like I could pinpoint his voice across the world.
Nathan Lane just have like some kind of like Wi-Fi connected to your brain. Like you already know when Nathan Lane is in danger.
He needs my help.
He needs my aid. You just jump in the car and drive off.
Or what about the Cat in the Hat?
Cat in the Hat's a good one too. Nothing wrong with that. Movie is a little disturbing, but Cat in the Hat's a good one too.
Cats and Dogs.
Cat Dog. Cat Dog's a good.
Oh, that's a good one.
Stimpson J Cat from Ren and Stimpy. He's a good one too.
Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots was almost on the list. Also, Jonesy from Alien was on the list.
The Aristocats?
I love that movie. Do you know how to do the Aristocrat?
Catwoman.
She counts. Actually, her cat Osiris counts. I think that's the name of her cat. I think it's Osiris.
I'm just looking up different cat videos.
Do you know how to do the Aristocrats joke?
Yeah.
That would never be done on this podcast. Anywho, so this was a very even results for this poll. So Goose and Meowth tied at 13%.
Yeah.
And Garfield and Tom tied at 38%. Chimpanzee that. It's Monkey News. And I think there was like 15 or 20 votes. So that's a pretty good spread for our small little channel.
What about the lady off of Always Sunny in Philadelphia that thinks that she's a cat?
She counts too.
Okay.
She can come to the cookout. She can get a plate.
She's more of a write-in vote.
She is a write-in vote. That's the guy. Every time I do one of these surveys, there's always some random non-fan of the channel that just jumps in.
What about that? That's what I'm trying to do every time.
Yeah, what about Heathcliff?
Yeah.
Or he'll say something that's not even like a cat. He'll be like, "What about Mufasa?" It's a lion.
What about the rabbi's cat from 2011?
Right? Like, bro, dude, like, cut me some slack, man.
What about Grumpy Cat?
What about Grumpy Cat? This is a clown poll. Oh, look at these clown shoes. These guys don't know what they're doing.
What about the Lion King?
That's what I'm saying. He'd be like, what about Scar?
Yeah.
It's a lion, dog. It's still a feline. Like, get out of my channel, dog.
Homeward Bound too?
What about the cat from Homeward Bound?
Who voiced the cat in Homeward Bound?
I think it was like Zsa Zsa Gabor or something.
Shut up.
I legit think it was like Zsa Zsa Gabor, man.
Sally Field.
Yeah.
Not Zsa Zsa Gabor.
Yeah. She voiced the cat at least once. I am positive.
Where do you get off?
She voiced the cat.
Homeward Bound 2. Sally Field again.
I'm telling you, Zsa Zsa Gabor has voiced the cat at least once. I am perfectly positive on that.
Zsa Zsa Gabor.
This needs to... Spot checking will ruin this podcast to steal from another podcast, but...
Cat.
This needs to be sorted out.
No, she...
Hmm? Hmm?
She
Hmm?
she had a cat that she brought to.
Hmm?
I don't think she voiced a cat.
Damn it! More research is required. I'll have it.
Something. Oh, that's Raquel Welch. Never mind.
See, there's still hope. More research is
No.
required.
Judge definitely did not play a cat. It's just the thing that they're connecting. Never mind.
Fact checking will ruin this podcast. We're moving on to the news.
Yes, fact check. I like that. We're talking about fact checking will ruin the podcast. Now let's go to the
Let's
news.
go to the news. Yeah. You see what I did there? Yeah.
I ruined it by explaining it.
By explaining. How dare you? How dare you be right?
Adios mio.
Adios mio.
I think He-Man.
He-Man. You got to say it like that. You got to go He-Man like Skeletor.
No, B-Man from Simpsons.
Oh, B-Man. Oy, mio stomacho.
Yeah, funny how he's still around, but Apu isn't anyway.
Right. Don't get me started on that. We got B-Man floating around. We got groundskeeper Willie floating around. Anyway, speaking of things that got ruined, did you hear about how the Twitch CEO had to apologize for Ninja for promoting porn accounts on his own page?
Yep.
What is happening, dude?
We like to have fun around here.
Here at Twitch, we like to keep things light. We thought it would be kind of silly. The star word, our shining pupil has left us. So what are we going to do? We're going to keep running content on his channel without his permission, which should have been taken down. But no, because they know kids are dumb and they'll just keep going to the channel until they get the memo that he's no longer there. And B, they're not. I humbly think that they just weren't monitoring what they put up there at all. They just weren't. They didn't care. They were just put up whatever.
We slowly see like how little monitoring there actually is.
And my next question is, what constitutes a porn account on Twitch? Because there's no gratuitous nudity. There's nothing like that. So what are they? So what?
Softcore.
You mean like streamers that like are all provocative dressed and stuff like that?
You better believe it, son.
Man, it's like the Wild West out here, dude.
Yippee-yo, yippee-yay.
Yippee-yo, yippee-yay, man. So apparently Ninja was livid because he was like, man, this is livid. He's so livid with all his millions of dollars.
Yes.
So it's like, he's like, this is character assassination. What are you guys doing? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
If you guys are ruining my great name as I count the billions.
You're ruining my name. Cut to the clips of him yelling at little kids over the mic. Go.
Yeah, and him having Ninja Edition Red Bulls and stuff, man.
Yeah, or him flossing in front of people who don't want to see him flossing.
One day, Drake is going to listen to this podcast and blow us up in a similar fashion, Doug.
Yeah.
Or Weird Al Yankovic. Weird Al's going to listen to the podcast.
Whoa, what do they say in Masters of the Nerdiverse? Oh, let me write a parody.
He's going to write a parody about our podcast. It's going to be next level. The highest honor, Doug.
Yeah, I wish I was friends with Weird Al.
Me too. I just want to have lunch with the guy, like eat a sandwich next to him before he goes quietly into that sweet night. Speaking of things that need to die, apparently Walmart has removed violent game ads from their stores in lieu of the president's recent hot take on gun violence as it relates to video games. I tried avoiding this topic on this channel.
Oh, you try so hard.
But in the end, it doesn't really matter.
It worked, folks.
You see, this is how you puppet Mike G. This is how you puppet me perfectly. You just say a line and let me finish it. I don't even know where to start with this, man. It's Walmart's prerogative to market or unmarket anything they want to do within the walls of their store. That's firstly. They can do whatever they want. B, it's a stupid decision. And it just goes to show whose pockets are getting lined at the end of the day.
Well, I don't know whose lines are being pocketed for this. I think it's more of Walmart's trying to not is like trying to buy into. They know whose audience is going into Walmart. Maybe
100%. Yeah, you're absolutely.
So they're trying hard to still be a viable option for the audience going in there.
Said audience.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, said audience. Now, can I recall in the last 15 years any violent game ads in Walmart? Trick question. I haven't been in a Walmart in 5 years.
Sounds about right for me too.
Yes, but I don't remember ever seeing ads for games except for when I was a kid when they had like the TV screens over the display case. But
even that,
yeah,
like even standees, there are no the most violent game you're going to see in a Walmart is like Mortal Kombat, right? You're not going to see like a Call of Duty. Maybe you will. I don't know.
right.
I haven't been in a Walmart in like I was going to say Walgreens. I haven't been in a Walmart, like you said, like 5-6 years. You know, and like you said, I'm sure that they need to cater to their demographic. Sadly,
Right.
and you got to think of the macro of it, right?
Yes. Now, I cannot see for the life of me someone, like if they did not do this, someone going, I'm never going to shop at Walmart again because they keep showing violent game ads. I don't see anyone ever saying that,
Ever.
But I can be wrong. Yeah. It's just interesting. It's almost like a fluff news piece because it's like you're stating a fact that companies can do this if they want. And then I think also that leaves the door open like, oh, well, then other companies can show violent video game ads.
Yeah,
which that's the store that I want to go to.
Yeah, like who are these companies that are actually showing violent video games?
What if this is the way that GameStop comes back?
That's what they were saying. I saw like a meme. You know the meme of Birdman rubbing his like hands behind like bars?
Yeah.
And it's like GameStop like overhearing that they're going to be a one-stop shop for quote-unquote violent game ads. It's ridiculous, dude. It's a distraction. Mm-hmm. Anywho.
Yeah, and that's we don't have to go further into that.
Nah, not at all.
The answers are out there. You got to do your research.
They're on YouTube and 4chan. That's where you get the answers from.
I don't know what answers you're seeking,
buddy. The right ones, the ones of earthly delights, Doug. I have no segue for this. So Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony are all working on a new policy that has to disclose loot box probability going forward in any game that is published or presented
next year.
Yeah, being an avid, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you've been an advocate of loot boxes, like supporting the scene in the future. How does Winter Trash Month III feel about this new legislation, this new policy?
That's perfectly fine. I'm fine with that. I think, I mean, there are like if you want to go the route of this is gambling, there are like casinos that will tell you about, like in the blackjack table, like is this a single 21 or are you having multiple decks in a blackjack? So I would say like this doesn't necessarily hurt any loot box thing. It might have people second guess, but I think at the end, most people, if they're going to go pay money for loot boxes or to open them or whatever, they're gonna find reasons to do it. They're gonna have a sale like, buy these keys for $8.99 instead of $9.95.
Right, 100%. And
yeah,
this is more of a half measure because the children who in the wells don't care.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The children in the wells aren't looking at statistics. You know, they don't care. They're just going to go on Overwatch and use their parents' credit card to buy whatever they want. Yeah. And it doesn't matter what percentage or numbers. This is more to placate the government. But even the government is so...
the U.S. government doesn't care. So
they don't care either. So who is this really for?
Yeah.
Right? And business is going to business because businesses.
Yeah.
So
I found it interesting that Grand Theft Auto, they talked about a recent update that opened up a casino. There's like people talk about gambling in that.
There's a legit actual casino in that game.
And it's where I've had to come to the ridiculous statement of in video games or like there's some instances where gambling's not gambling, although it is gambling.
it's not gambling because it's a video game, but there's gambling that's not gambling.
No, it's not. It's gambling because you're like playing games that are like gambling. You're putting up fictional money for fictional stuff, but then it's not gambling because there's no, according to the U.S. government, and I think England, there's an article that came out. There's no actual transaction of physical or like actual monetary value going between that.
Right.
But then it goes, but it's still gambling. That part is, well, there's third party sites that try to go like, I just got this rare car or whatever that I'll sell you for like $20.
Yeah. And people are saying, well, just make the things that are rare or chase buyable, but then that defeats the whole purpose, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Of the people who are spending hundreds and thousands of dollars to try to get that unicorn, that brass ring that probably on paper has a 0.05% chance to proc. You know what I mean? So it's like, it is gambling. But as long as there's legislation, and as long as all cards are up on the table, then that's up to the parent or the purchaser to then make that decision. I don't think you should fully remove it from games. Like you said, there's benefits to it. It supports the scene. It supports the game. Some games need this for longevity, but there's also EA who are literally just like using the worst tactics to like predatory for predatory acts, and that's just there needs to be like some kind of restriction to it. There needs to be some kind of transparency to it, and it just doesn't exist now. And
I'm always worried when people go like there needs to be some type of restriction on stuff that happens in video games, is because it will almost always end up with the major game developers always like defining the restriction and then figuring it out, and then always taking out the lower group, like the people that aren't backed by these major groups, but they make their game and put it on Steam.
It's a Pandora's box, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Once you open that box, it's going to get ugly fast, because then you're playing with big money.
Right.
Like games like Grand Theft Auto make millions a month on their post game accessories.
It's a game that's been out for
how many years? Like 10, almost 7 years now.
Yeah,
it's crazy. There's no need to make any more games when people are just still rocking that. And it's kind of like the Valve situation with Steam. Why make Half-Life 3 if you're making billions on Steam every month?
Yeah. So Half-Life 3 is now, it's like the
unicorn.
It's the Niles, the Niles and Frasier phenomenon of
it's the Niles' wife situation.
He's in Fast. What's the British lady's name again?
Dang it, Daphne.
Daphne, yeah, like he's so infatuated with Daphne, and then there's eventually an episode where they are together, and then he's finding out that she's not as perfect as his mind has made up this entire time.
Yep.
So, and I think you can start to see possibly a decline in Frasier, which that's heresy to say, but once that nugget has been caught, where they're now a relationship.
Well, that's the rule of any sitcom, is the will they won't they couple should never come together. Ever, because that is the jumping the shark moment. It's documented. The will they won't they should never come together. Just real quick, for the first time ever in NBA 2K history, the WNBA players are being added to the game, which I just wanted to give a shout out because I think that's cool. Female representation in overly masculine games is a good balance, especially the WNBA has been so important to the lives of so many young women and just fans of the game. So I give them kudos to adding the WNBA female options, you know what I'm saying, as an option. but also the 2K games are also under EA and have predatory microtransactions in loot boxes. So just be careful, okay? Be careful out there, guys.
And I will be careful with my statements here.
Let's just move on.
Yeah.
Movies. Let's get into some movies. So Disney is developing as far as LucasArts project that's not Indiana Jones and Star Wars. What could this possibly be? American Graffiti 2?
American Graffiti 2. The graffitiing. They already have American Graffiti 2.
Was there American Graffiti 2?
Yeah.
Okay, what about let's complete the trilogy? American Graffiti 3, Rise of the Graffiti.
Rise of the Graffiti. Yeah, I would watch that. But yeah, I wonder what it could be.
I've always thought LucasArts had so much potential.
Yeah.
Like, and just and got so pigeon-toed with Star Wars that whole company, this is the people who made Grim Fandango, as I mentioned earlier, and just and Curse of Monkey Island, and just so many quirky little games that, and the studio itself just has so much potential. They could be like the next Legendary and just make weird little movies, you know?
Do you think, are they gonna, so they have science fiction, they have adventure, where do you think they're gonna go from?
Given the climate, given that superhero movies are on the out actually right now, that the superhero fatigue is official. I think they're just going to probably try to reintroduce the old pulpy stuff, you know, like they're probably going to try to reinvigorate the Western or reinvigorate, because pirates have already been done. I think the Western's going to come back in a big way. And I think
I was thinking Western too.
Yeah, like they're going to have some sharp, super cool Western with some big unknown star that's going to blow up, and Westerns are going to be a thing again.
Dirt gets in the lungs, into the eyes.
In the eyes.
On my hat.
In the saddle, going down that old country road.
And now when I kill you, the dirt's going to be over you.
I'm going to cheat on my baby. And then a whistle.
Yeah. Thou killer.
And then Lil Nas X comes out the cut with his boots on.
Take my husband.
And that's, so you know, it's the rise of the Western, dog. They're coming back. Yeah, I put money on it.
That brought you Star Wars and Indiana Jones. It's now Wild Hickok.
Speaking of stagecoach robberies, did you hear what's going on with MoviePass? Remember MoviePass?
That's still a thing.
Apparently so. And apparently it was mandatory that MoviePass employees actively changed the passwords for their users so they couldn't go see movies because they're hemorrhaging money.
Wow.
You know how hard it was for me to cancel my MoviePass? It was really hard. Them dudes, they almost came to my house. It just was like, you sure? Like goons came to my house and was like, you sure you want to do that?
Now, before you go, can I interest you in one ticket for a timeshare?
See, there's this Arab prince that really would like to help you out. So if you go see 3 movies with MoviePass and give us your credit card number.
Yeah, I'll leave this door. I'll leave this house as soon as you. But wait. If you just listen to me for another 30 seconds, I'll give you a free Golden Corral ticket.
Have you seen this cutlery? This knife can cut through a penny. Yes. Want to see me cut through a penny? No, don't leave. You have to stay for the whole seminar.
I have one ticket for a hot dog from Pink's. If you
Pink's, guys, you get a free steak from Omaha Steaks. All I need is your credit card.
But it has to be slummier than that. It has to be like stuff that's around LA.
You get a free steak dinner at Golden Corral. You get to go to Woody's Barbecue and get a free side order with any purchase.
Yes, you get
of a dinner.
One purchase, you get the next half off at the hat.
Right. Oh, you're making me hungry. We're moving on. Anyway, get rid of your movie passes, guys. It's just
multi-pass
chicken. Speaking of chickens, Wesley Snipes is joining the Coming to America sequel. Wesley Snipes is a trip, dude.
Yes.
Dude.
Sometimes Icarus flies too close to the sun, and then he has 3D eyes on him in a movie.
Can we talk about that? Is that okay to talk about? Can we just not talk about it?
Talked about.
It's been talked about.
I'm pretty sure we covered that.
How in Blade Trinity, he was so mad at the director, he refused to open his eyes. Yes. So the CG put eyes on him because he was being an asshole. If you want a good laugh, go watch Patton Oswalt's take on the filming Blade Trinity. It's the most hilarious thing ever. It's like as funny as when Kevin Smith was about to direct Superman for Tim. He was writing Superman for Tim Burton. But Coming to America does not need a sequel. Does not need Blade, and it sure as hell doesn't need a sequel.
So how can it be called Coming to America? It be a sequel, meaning they've already come to America.
No, it's Coming, the number 2 America.
But they've already come.
But maybe they're not coming to America. Maybe someone else is coming to America. Like
so it's son. Like it should be called came to America, already showed up, now bringing more people over to America.
That's a long title, bro. You can't fit that on the shirt.
Yeah. Well, you can't fit Wesley Snipes' ego on the shirt either.
Hi-oh. No, you can't.
Well, we got a great show for you tonight. We got Benny Bambino and the Basic Cable Band.
Yeet. Have you seen the trailer for Dolomite featuring Eddie Murphy?
No.
It is amazing, dude. I'm so down. So Eddie Murphy is making his actorial debut, coming back as a biopic pick for Dolomite. Do you know the histories of Dolomite, Doug?
For the audience, you should tell them.
So Dolomite, he's bad. He's really bad. Is
like Shaft?
Shut your mouth.
Just talk about Shaft.
Dolomite, and this was one of those movies that was before my time, super old, black exploitation movie about Dolomite, who used to rhyme, who knew kung fu, who got all the ladies, just the best, worst film of all time. If you ever have a chance, just have a good time, bring some friends over and watch Dolomite, who was based off a real guy. Dolomite played himself pretty much in that movie. If you've seen Dolomite, the dude in real life really acts like that all the time. It's like Tommy Wiseau, in The Room. It's like that level bad that it's good. And Eddie Murphy is playing the real life actor. I forget his name, his real name. It may be Dolomite. Shit. But
is Yervil Martin.
Yep.
And the dude's name is Rudy Ray Moore, I believe.
Okay. And all like Black Hollywood is showing up for this movie. Everybody's in it. It looks like a blast. It reminds me of back when Car Wash came out back in the day, or The Wash, which was kind of a weird remake, a 90s remake of that movie. So I'm all for it. I love hood movies, and I love supporting African-American Hollywood. So I'm all for that. So definitely looking forward to going to see Dolomite. He's a bad mother effer.
Shut your mouth. I feel bad that I didn't see the most recent Shaft movie.
No one did, my friend. No one did.
Snare hit.
Speaking of absolute nothingness.
Wait, have you seen the blaxploitation film Black Caesar?
Yeah. My dad was into all of those. Black Caesar. I thought you were
about to say my dad was in it.
My dad was Black Caesar, Doug.
If we haven't covered this in our Hollywood Walk.
I think that's the name of the podcast. My dad was Black Caesar.
No, he was the guy that Black Caesar was about.
Yeah. He was the guy who didn't have to go to the barbecue but still got plates. Oh, my dad listens to this podcast. Yeah. He's probably like, yeah, it was Black Caesar. Jeez. But yeah, So Nicolas Cage is making a Lovecraftian movie about something.
Not the madness. Not the
madness. Oh, right in the eyes. It's called Color Out of Space. And it's about like some eldritch horror comes to Earth and starts warping reality. And so Nicolas Cage and his family goes just off the grid because it's getting bad. And it's supposed to be like this trippy, Lovecraft-inspired kind of head trip movie. And after Mandy, I'm all for more weird, kooky Nicolas Cage antics. I'm super down. I'm just waiting for a trailer. I just want to see what this is. They showed a screenshot where the sky was purple or something like that. It looked real nutty. So I'm really excited. Anything horror, anything kind of Lovecraftian, I'm just super down for it, man. Oh man, you have any thoughts or comments on that, Winter?
Yeah.
He's bad.
Yeah, I'm always for the inclusion of more for like stuff like Lovecraft movies. I think there's a lot of it's been a lot harder to promote to get. It's a very weird time because the technology is out there now to make a really good Lovecraft film.
Yes,
but
it
the
is.
culture is not there for a Lovecraft film.
Like popular culture is not ready for a legit Lovecraft film.
No, I mean I'm seeing more like with the way that things are being like shut down over stuff.
Yeah,
over like views of people. It's like it's weird. We're ready. Like we've have Avatar, folks. So if we can do that, we can do a H.P. Lovecraft film. But then people are gonna dig into his background and go re.
Talk about it'll be a crazy separating the art from the artist, right? That's something that's coming out soon. But it's one of those things where it's like Lovecraft has inspired so much, but the man himself was complete and utter trash. You know what I mean? Like he was a horrible human being. But he gave us Cthulhu. You know, he looked into the mouth of madness. He did all that stuff. But there's still like Cthulhu. There's always Lovecraft inspired indie films like The Void and of course In the Mouth of Madness and things like that. But what I want is a big AAA like super Hollywood take on Lovecraft that the money is just in.
Yeah.
Like give Oscar winner Guillermo del Toro infinite money and tell him to make his version of Mountains of Madness and get a big star and make it high profile. But I want it to really bother people. You know what I mean? Like really trip people out. That's what I want. That's the dark future I envision. You know what I'm saying? Whew. What are you looking forward to?
Well, I'm looking forward to a weekend of working on watching doing something. Wink, wink for the future Master of the Nerdiverse. Wink, wink, wink.
Yeah, all the winks.
I guess I would have to watch before then because we're going to be recording.
Yep.
We'll talk. Yeah.
Yep.
And working on another audio drama script. Try to get that out there.
Cool. Yeah. Same here. I'm also looking forward to Wink Wink, future Master of the Nerdiverse stuff. Definitely looking forward to doing another MOTN reads on the next book by Hickman. So very excited for that. And I'm also looking forward to just the weekend because are we doing D&D this weekend or no? I don't think so.
I believe we might. I mean, we didn't do it for 2 weeks now.
Yeah. So, chances are we're going to be bringing back D&D in a big way on Ozzy Austin's channel. So look out for that. And yeah, really excited for the future of the channel. Big things are happening for us. Big things.
Excited.
And I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it.
Make your body lose control.
Whoa. You freaked me out. Stop it. It got real fast.
I'm the master of the voices.
Yes, he is. I'm the Lord of Illusions.
Open your mouth.
Wow. Whoa. I don't want to. Any last thoughts before we close this bad boy out?
I'm just gonna shut up. I've got nothing really. Just check out what I'm doing on the internet. Trash Monk the Third, Trash Monk III. I'm always thinking about new projects to work on. I'm thinking about putting some audio on SoundCloud, maybe.
Good. It's a good place to be.
Yeah, and I might even, just stuff to keep me active.
I hear that. That's all. Keep us active. Definitely check out the website, mastersnerdiversecast.com. I just recently did some renovations to it. So I added some things, took away some things, put a bigger emphasis on our YouTube stuff because I want that to get bigger and I want to grow our YouTube followers for our comic book content and future content that will be debuting on that MOTN YouTube channel, which is YouTube.com/MOTN, I believe. So you definitely check us out there. And if you want to support the channel monetarily, you can always do so via Patreon. We'll take $1 a month, $5 a month, $5 million a month, whatever you want to give us. We'll be definitely grateful. But if you wanted to support us non-monetarily, always like our content. May that be on Twitter, which is @MNerdiverse, where you can participate in our polls. Or if you would just want to subscribe to our channels, may it be through Spotify, or may it be through YouTube, or may it be through Stitcher or Spreaker. However you're listening to this, welcome to the Nerdiverse, and I thank you for being a part of our channel. I've, of course, been your host, Mike G.
And I've been your host, Winter.
And we will always ask you, you, to take that one step beyond.